Hello and welcome back to your one and only source. We're your hosts.
My name is Phoebe.
My name is Caroline, and today we are recapping Gossip Girl Season 2, Episode 2, called
Never Been Marcused.
Never Been Marcused. Never Been Marcused. Not to immediately talk about another podcast, but Giggly Squad. I don't know if you've been listening at all, but Hannah did this new thing where she's been saying, like, I'm a girl's girl. I'm a girl's girl. And that's how she says it. And
It's very drama.
it really reminds me of when my ex's new girlfriend asked me if she could speak to me outside of the bar. And I was like, okay. And so I go outside the bar with Gibson and Addie, and they're like, what the fuck's about to go down? What the fuck's about to go down watching? And she's British, and she goes, I see you like all over campus, and I saw you in Rent, and I thought you were better than the girl in the movie, but like I'm just like
Caroline,
not like
right now it's like complete Emma. That is Emma Watson.
Thank you. But this is exactly what she said. And then she goes, but I'm just like, I like see you on campus, like I want to say hi, but like I'm just not like into like girls hating other girls. And so I was like, wow, okay, I literally can't hate you if I tried. Turns out I can't hate you if I tried because you're nice as fuck. And I leave, and Gibson and Addie are like, so, but I will say we constantly like, I'm just like not into like girls hating other girls. And that's exactly what I'm like, a girl's girl. I'm not into girls hating other girls. And I was like, okay, well, I am. Okay, that makes one of us. Just
But
kidding. I'm
still a
totally
girl's girl.
joshing.
I'm a girl's girl, but I'm perfectly comfortable with
I'm a
girls
girl's
hating
girl
other
who
girls.
hates girls. Yes, we exist. Yes, we exist. Some girls deserve to be hated, Amanda Petula. Anyway.
That guy's not looking good. Not looking good.
Not looking good. I mean, not an ounce of remorse in that woman's body, in her whole entire body. Did you watch In the City?
Yeah, but not super intently.
Which
But
it is giving Gossip Girl. The way that they like filmed it.
a
like
little
with
bit, yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
They really led with the Wes and Amanda. I'm like, what did the show look like before this happened?
I know.
Because they had to go back to the drawing board.
I feel so bad for Kyle, and that's what In the City is gonna do. Like, it is gonna,
yeah, it's his redemption.
well, not even that. It's just like you're seeing, and he was such a shitty husband. Like, absolutely.
I had to keep reminding myself of that. He loved her
so much.
And that's what's crazy. And I feel, and it is that classic example of like, I didn't know how much you loved her until you lost her. So like, it is like, I did have to keep reminding myself that like, okay, he treated her like shit. Like this was years in the making, and none of us even thought she should have married him.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's like, it is crazy. Like, I kept being like, holy shit, he does not want to not be married to her. He genuinely loves her. He wants this to work.
And now he wants to, like, if she's able to do something where they can be friends, he will,
I know,
let himself get back there, which I just don't think she deserves, because like I don't even think she's like said sorry to him. Because also she's
so apathetic.
She's not
me ill.
Also, like, I feel like we also forget that Wes and Kyle were friends. Like, now their friendship is over.
100%.
I mean, like, I just feel, and it came out in the statement that KJ read on Watch What Happens. Like, that was the first inkling, or the first time I realized that like they really haven't been paying attention. Like, they're so offline that I don't think they realize the stakes. Like, they don't really.
Wes and Amanda?
Yeah. Like, because that's what KJ said, and that's what Wes said.
What happens?
No, this was weeks ago when KJ read
that's what I'm saying.
KJ read a text that West had sent him. That was like, I haven't been. He sent it to him after the reunion. He was like, I haven't been online, and I kind of didn't realize like how bad things were.
It shouldn't take you getting online to realize that what you did was fucked up. Like, it should be enough that the people in your real life are this upset with you. So it drives me insane that he's like, well, I didn't realize I needed to be that sorry until I got online. And it's like, really? Because the people that you actually love and have relationships with in your life didn't make that clear enough to you? Or they just didn't matter? You only care about what the public thinks about you.
It's just like,
Got it.
I don't think that, well, in the words of Amanda Petula, got it.
Got it.
Got it.
I was like, I'm sorry, the words got it should have never left your mouth at that fucking reunion.
Amanda, the only words that you should have had like written on your hand were,
I'm sorry. I'm
right.
a fucking loser.
You're right, and I'm sorry.
I'm wrong. You're
Like-
right. I'm wrong. I'm a piece of shit dirtbag. That's what she should have had written on her hand.
And I smell bad.
And I smell bad. And I'm not a good singer, even though I posted it and I wanted you all to tell me that I was. Who wrote that? I didn't write that one. Wes, like, that was me, babe. Like, you gotta stop with the singing. Anyway. Well, I guess we can get into the episode now. So we begin with a truly harrowing sight. Serena and Dan post-coital on the beach.
I hate that word. I know we say it every fucking week.
We say it every
hate-
episode.
I
And I
hate
don't love it either.
I really
But-
don't like it. We
but
got to come up with
Don't
something
ever say we
different.
can't overcome anything.
I'm getting to a point where I don't know if I ever want to say it again.
You're just not brave enough or strong enough, or which one of those
I
do you
just
think it
don't
is?
like how it feels in my mouth anymore.
Well, you used to say
Anyway.
that about the C word. The other C word, not coital. The other one.
Right.
Phoebe,
But
Phoebe said that word to my mom one day, like recently, and I was on the phone with mom, and mom was like, and Lily told me that mom was like shocked that you said it, and I was like, Phoebe loves that word. Where have you been?
When did I say it to mom? Who would I have been
It
talking
just rolled
about?
off your tongue, apparently.
Who would I have been talking about in my
Could have
everyday
been
life?
anyone.
Well, that's true.
I can think of a few people.
I used 3 like SAT words on the phone with mom yesterday, and she was in
Kind
the
of
car
bragging.
with Lily. She was in the car with Lily, and they
She was, who am I? She crashed the car. Who am I on the phone with? And what have you done with my girl?
Lily and or mom, and like I can see it like in the car. I can like put myself in the back row and see mom and
You can
Lily
see
look
them
at each
looking
other.
at each other like low-key laughing at you.
Yes, because
Yeah, I
mom
can see
goes,
it too.
"Oh, big words."
What were the words?
I said,
Please God, say it's like not a big
I
word.
said
Please God.
obfuscates, and I
Obfuscate?
said obfuscates, and I
Okay,
said
what the fuck does that even mean?
to like offload something onto someone else. So like you obfuscate blame or whatever.
Okay, so you just learned that
or
word
responsibility. No, I've used that
kind
word
of recently.
No, I've used that
Admit
word.
it.
I'm guys. I think you could probably go back in the pod.
Hey, Fee, I would
like
know.
that word.
I write down every word you say that's more than 2 syllables, and
Right.
and that's not on here. Okay, what were the other words?
I said obsequious,
Okay, you're just literally trying so hard to be Bo and Yang.
and there was one. No, because he's too much. This vocab. Sometimes I'm like, Bowen, one of these days Matt is gonna be brave enough to ask you what you're talking about.
One of these days, Matt's gonna be like, "Hey, Bo, monosyllabic, please. Thank you. We talked about this."
I know monosyllabic isn't monosyllabic, but that's Matt talking. I know monosyllabic
sorry,
isn't
you did a really
monosyllabic.
bad Matt impression, so I didn't.
Well, I wasn't really impersonating him. I was just yes anding, which is Caroline's favorite critique of me that I can't do.
because she won't do it. I'll make
Well,
a
you just-
hilarious freaking
you
joke,
didn't
and
do it just then.
I'll be like, "Your move," and she'll be like, Anyway, and I'm like, okay, literally, it's called bubble bursting. You're great at it. You freaking invented it sometimes.
Anyway, there was another word that I said that I can't think of,
Well, if you think of it, definitely
Anymore.
let me know.
but there were like 3 of them that was just enough.
Phoebe, I'm gonna be so real with you. Sounds like you were showing off. Sounds like you had a dictionary open in front of
No,
you, and you were
honestly,
like,
they were
"Let me just
and
flip to a
listen.
random page and use one of these words."
They were coming like really like I even when
Don't
especially no,
You
stop.
dare say they
When
were
I-
coming
stop.
really naturally.
When I said obsequious, I did catch myself off guard.
You're like, wait, sorry, Mom, do you know what that means? Because I just don't want to speak in languages that you don't understand. I don't want to speak in tongues that you don't understand, okay? I want to have a 2-way conversation, okay? I don't want to.
I text you. I'm like, hey, by the way, if mom calls you and said Phoebe was speaking in tongues on the phone earlier, don't worry. I just said obsequious.
And I'm like, oh my God, my favorite word. Of course I know that one. Anyway, so we're not going to use postcoital anymore.
No,
In
but I mean, what
memoriam
I-
postcoital.
Thank you. What I want to say is Dan and Serena are very lucky that a police officer isn't waking them up right now.
I thought the same thing because you know what that means. Megan's Law, hello. Sex offender list, hello. Do you guys
Is
know
that
that?
In public,
If you are caught having sex in a public place, you will be a sex offender.
I don't think I realized that was Megan's Law, though. Is it?
Yeah, it's Megan's Law.
Oh, whoa. I thought that meant something else.
Yeah. So, but isn't that crazy? Like, so, I mean, it's not crazy, but I don't think everybody knows that because some people treat public sex in a very cavalier way. And I just want you to know that being on a sex offender registry will ruin your life.
Yeah.
I don't know that personally.
I feel like some
but
people
I work really hard to make sure it's true.
I feel like some people can forget that, like, the people on sex offender lists aren't strictly pedophiles.
Yeah.
Like, you can be an adult having sex with
and here's
an adult.
a good idea. If you are wondering, you can look up someone's name and see everything that they did.
Wait.
You can see all of their check-in photos. You can actually get updates sent to you about them.
I thought you were like, if you have a question, just don't do it, which is true. Like, if you were like,
well, that's
is this an illegal sex
act? If you have to scratch your head about, could what I'm doing get me on some kind of a list? The answer is don't do it.
Same with like flying.
But
like,
by the way,
if you think throwing a temper tantrum on an airplane is going to get you in trouble, just like, don't do it.
The airport is just one of those places you just need to stick to the status quo.
Yeah.
And we've always
Hey, don't take any risks at the airport.
No. Because I'm just saying, like, similarly to the sex offender registry, the no-fly list is for life. And it can really make your life tough. You know? So if you need a little voice in your head that's telling you not to do it, how about you play me and Phoebe saying, if it can get you on a list, maybe think twice. Okay, so, yeah, they're so lucky a police officer didn't walk up. They're also so lucky that the tide didn't come up and wash them straight away.
They're pretty high up, though, I have to say.
You woke up and you were lost at sea.
They're, like, fully up in the dunes, like, where you might find a horseshoe crab corpse.
Where people are frequently walking. Like, they're right by the beach access path. You guys,
literally.
You were dying to be seen. Dan's like, don't worry,
100%.
I'm Gossip Girl, so we don't have anything to worry about. No one's going to snipe us here. Because I'll just not post
I'll just intercept it.
Or I will.
Dan's like, I've really been working on my body, my hairless chest this summer.
I'm like, and that's a fresh wax.
Yeah, I really noticed it.
I also really noticed that he's super tan, and I think that they all got spray tans,
like,
but like they look good.
Sticky. His chest is like a little bit sticky.
She's like, is this sunscreen or Jenny waxed your chest and didn't do that good of a job? Okay, great. Little J opened a waxing business. Remind me not to let her do my Brazilian. That's Serena. And Dan's like, don't worry, she's practicing on Vanessa. She's practicing Brazilians on Vanessa. And she's
okay,
like,
wait, I know I'm jumping ahead a bit, but am I forgetting a storyline where Vanessa ends up having a crush on Rufus?
Dude, I wrote down something to her. I'm like, why are Rufus and Vanessa low-key flirting? Hey,
like the whole episode.
Hey, Rufy, back the hell up. That's a minor.
I was like really taken aback, but let me tell you, the twist that comes up in this episode, completely forgot about it.
You did? I wish I
had
could have
an organic reaction to that.
That is it is a fun twist. This episode features some crazy fun twists. So, Gossip
they're
Girl
waking
says,
up. Oh, wait,
as they're waking up, she says the only thing harder than making up is waking up. And I'm like, speak for yourself. I hate making up, and everybody knows that.
And waking up comes rather easily to her.
I'm really good at that, as long as I can press snooze 15 times.
And Serena wakes up. Someone used the One Wish Willow on her.
Literally, she's like, wait a minute, who are you? This ain't me. What's going on here? No. She's like, I just don't know about this, and I'm covered in sand, and I got sand inside my guts.
And then it happens the reverse. They like are going back and forth with who is more into it and who is more obsessed with each other.
Annoying me with this, and it's so classic Dan. Like, she's like, I'm overwhelmed, I'm confused. Dan's like, I'm not. She's like, I'm sorry. Dan's like,
you were yesterday. You were yesterday, Dan.
Literally yesterday, you were. And they're just like, so like, oh, I don't know what we're gonna do. Oh my god! And so she like gets up, wears his jacket, covers herself up, and she goes to leave. And she like looks back at him, and she's just like, it feels so good to be together, but I think I need to think about it. And he's like, oh, but I thought this meant that we are back together. Like, well, why did you think that, Dan?
Does that mean that you're dating Georgina still too, then?
Yeah, are you just...
Because you also had sex with her.
Right. No, and you know what? We're clocking it. Okay, you said you didn't. I don't believe
I think they definitely had sex.
There's no way Georgina Sparks let him leave that room without him putting it in her. Sorry. That's just true. That's just true. And now she's going to Jesus Reform School, so like it's fine.
There's a lot of Georgina. There's a lot of Georgina that gives Leighton Meester in the movie The Roommate with Minka Kelly.
I've, if you can believe, never seen it. I know.
It's on Netflix now.
Okay, you're one and only Source Movie Club. We're not going to start with any of
I'm
the
actually
titular
personally-
titles. We're going to
personally-
do The Roommate.
Personally, I'm never rewatching it, but you do need. It's like kind of required viewing.
Okay, I'll watch it this weekend.
But I
have
think
a 3-day
one was enough for
weekend
me
and no one else does. What?
because Leighton Meester is playing one of those characters that like
Yeah.
just makes my skin crawl.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And sometimes I'll say it, Blair has that effect on me as well. Not in the same way, but in the way that I'm like, Blair, think twice.
No,
Like, you're not going to end up on a list, but you might end up on someone's list.
This character makes my skin crawl in the way that Sarah makes my skin crawl.
Okay, got it. Understood.
Yeah.
But
But it's on Netflix, everybody. So you guys, if you haven't
everybody, we're
seen
watching it this weekend. Happy Memorial Day weekend. Here are your plans. So they're like, all right, we're going to work this out. But like the physical part, that's never been our issue. We'll see each other in the city. And then she leaves and they're like, we're going to talk about our issues. And she leaves the beach and we see Blair and Marcus. What is with Blair like on her fucking triathlon shit?
and also
Why are you
Blair,
riding bikes all the time?
Blair is giving that like that crazy smile. The way that she is looking at him and laughing at him, it is just like, can we tone it down a
It's
bit?
like, are you exhausted? Because I would be so exhausted from faking this.
Don't your
This
cheeks
hard
hurt?
for this long. I know they have to. And I know her legs hurt. I'm like, I've never seen you exercise, girl. And you were on that bike. I didn't know you knew how to ride
No,
one.
Hey, we have seen her exercise. When she beat Serena to a freaking pulp, to freaking smithereens on the field hockey field.
How could I forget that? Oh my God. You know, I was going through our posts from like our season 1 stills and I was like, we should go choose our favorite moments because it was just fun to take a walk down memory lane. Like season 1 just has some gems, but I totally forgot about that. So thank you for the reminder. But they're riding bikes and Blair's like, so what happens next? Like, I know you're not going back to college. What's your plan?
She is literally, Blair may as well say, so what happens next? When do I get my title?
When do I get my? So I'm
She's
just
like,
about
look,
my
I
title.
can't go back to New York and then get lunch with
Oh, well.
Countess Luann without my own title.
Exactly.
Caroline, there is a scene of Roni where Countess Luann and Bethany are getting into a car. Bethany got the car for them.
Okay.
And she introduces Countess Luann to the driver and says, oh, this is my friend Luann. They get in the car.
No, she corrects her.
Countess Luann, but she says it in a way where like she's laughing. No, she's like she's trying to make it a joke, but you can tell she's seriously like, no, it's like it's Mrs.
She's
de
like
Lesseps.
practiced saying in the mirror, like, no, it's Countess. I was like, it's a joke, but like, she's like, but I better make sure I
she goes,
get
she
the
goes,
message across.
I just noticed that like you introduced me as Luann,
And that's okay.
and it's just like it's kind of like I'm Mrs. de Lesseps.
I have a title.
It's kind of it's just like a respect thing. I just thought it was kind of crazy.
I thought it was kind of honestly fucking rude.
Luann, like I'm
So I was
getting,
wondering
it's
if
kind
you
of a
could
hoot.
walk
It's kind of a freaking hoot that you call me Luann.
by my name, by my government name. No, thanks.
when you know I'm a de Lesseps. Bethany.
God, she does have such a good name. So, good news for Blair and her title is that Marcus just wants to go wherever she goes. He's somehow not deterred by their last like exchange at the white party, which is a miracle. I think.
I do want everybody to bookmark now what he looks like in your head so that when you see Nate, you see that they are like basically identical.
Wait, what? I
They
could
look
not disagree more.
They look so much alike, and
Is
that's
it just 'cause I
important
know
for
him
what happens
personally?
later. Is what
Is it just because he's such a close personal friend and like when I look at him, I just see our memories? You know what I mean? So like I can't really see Nate Archibald. I just see like all the good times we had.
they are both blonde, young, strapping.
Nate
men.
is not blonde. Are you okay? Nate
He's
is
got,
not
like,
blonde.
dirty blonde hair.
He has brown hair with maybe some highlights. He is not
With
blonde.
definitely highlights.
Phoebe, get your eyes checked. Phoebe, uh-oh. I'm concerned. What, do you have your sparkles back or some shit?
My sparkles never left, bitch. All right.
Okay.
And so that was actually insensitive as hell.
Actually, I feel fine about it. But I do just think
Mom
you should get your
won't.
eyes checked
Mom
because they
won't.
are blonde. They're not blonde. Nate is not blonde.
Freudian slip. They are blonde.
No, that was just me. Like, I was trying to make you feel good for 1 second before I ripped it back and said, no, just kidding. Can you guys comment and let me know if Nate Archibald is blonde? I think I'd know a freaking blondie.
Regardless of if they're
Or do you
blonde.
think Serena Vanderwoodson has black hair?
no. You fucking bitch. No.
Do you think Blair has purple hair?
No, but she almost has blonde hair in
Do
this
you think
episode.
Chuck Bass has bright red hair?
Wait, but what is with Blair's highlights in this episode? Her hair is an
She's
entirely
Summer
different
Blair
color.
now. She's got a tan and lighter hair. They all have spray tans.
Anyway, I think
So
it's
Blair's
important to note that they kind of have similarities
I guess.
that lend itself to the
They're both men.
storyline later.
For sure, they're both men. And they're both probably kissing the same bitches. So there. Okay, so Blair's like, okay, great. You'll come wherever I go, my lord. And he's like, hey, don't call me that. And she's like, I'm going to call you that. And Blair's like, I got to get back to New York for senior year, but I really want to meet your family. I want to meet the Duke and the Duchess. And he gets super weird about it. And I think are they at lunch at this point?
I think so.
They're at
Yes.
lunch. And when he says, he pauses on the Duchess. He's like, the Duchess. I don't know. And she's like, excuse me. And she gets up and she calls her and she's like, everything's going wrong. He doesn't want me to meet his mommy.
And Serena, number one bitch in the world, says, wait, who's Marcus?
Serena's giving Amanda Batula when a friend is in a crisis, and Blair gives Sierra Miller when a friend is in a crisis. There, I said it. It's
Fair
just
enough.
the truth. Literally, Serena's like, Marcus, I can't keep up, Blair. You've been really slutty lately. And Blair's like, you know, Marcus, it's James, it's Marcus, it's the Lord, and he's a Lord and I love him. And Serena's like, okay. Why don't you take off the rose-colored glasses, B? You don't know what
Mhm.
love is, but I do. And
Do.
speaking of, I need to get back to douching myself so I can get the sand out of my cooter. I was going to say coochie, and then I was just like, I'm going for it. I was like, Phoebe's going to freaking love this. I'm going to go for it.
And love is the last way I'd describe how that made me feel.
The last way?
Yeah.
How would you describe it? Use one of your SAT words, bitch. Anyway.
Okay, then Chuck arrives and he's gonna try to figure out how to work his way into lunch with the Lord. And I want to note two things. When eventually Blair walks back in there and sees it and calls Chuck over and calls him
Charles.
Basshole.
Charles, and she calls him Basshole. And I love Basshole. We need
And
shirts
then-
to say Basshole.
What I want to note also is that a waiter walks by them with an insane amount of sweat stain on the back of their light blue dress shirt.
How did I miss this?
I'm shocked you did, but
Okay, you have an eye for detail.
I was like,
You have an eye for detail.
either that extra, that was intentional, like they wanted to it's the Hamptons,
like, and
these
we're gonna
places
give-
are
we're
old,
actually
like
gonna
no
give
air
you-
conditioning.
We want you to make a meal out of this roll. Okay?
Or is that guy walking around living his life after having seen his big extra moment in an episode of Gossip
Wait,
Girl?
I
And
literally
he
thought you were saying,
didn't.
is this man walking around living his life after seeing his big back? Sweat stains. I was like, holy shit,
No,
she's
I
going
just
there.
mean, imagine going home and telling your family I was an extra on Gossip Girl, and
Let's all
I walk across the camera I'm in the shot, in it.
Let's have a viewing party. You guys are, it's my big
And it's
break.
literally just his back covered in sweat stains.
Dude, I have got to rewind and find that.
Yeah.
That's epic. That's actually epic.
Imagine
They were
Caroline
like,
watches
nah,
this
we're not
back-
reshooting.
Imagine Caroline watches it back and she's like, nope, just a paisley shirt. Just a blue
I'm like,
paisley
that's
shirt.
called a pattern, B. That's actually called a pattern. So anyway, Chuck is like, Marcus, we can be civil. They shake hands. Chuck sits in Blair's seat. Big mistake. And then Blair is still on the phone with Serena. And she goes, oh, I'm his secret summer shame. Which is so funny to me. And I also want a shirt that says secret summer shame because that's kind of epic.
How about
And then Blair's like,
bikinis?
by the way, speaking of secret
Bikinis?
summer shames,
Bikinis
Or
for
were
the
you-
two of us that say that on the butt.
secret summer and then shame on the butt. Yes. This boob is named Secret. This one is named Summer. And my butt,
Shame.
Shame. That's actually a beautiful name for a woman. Shame. This is my daughter's Shame.
It's the
These
female
are my daughter's
version.
Shame and Secret.
in my shame. In my dog Summer.
My dog said, they're like, and you gave the dog the name Summer, not one of your two daughters.
Shame
Human
is
daughters?
Shame is the female version of Shane.
And everybody knows that.
And everybody knows that.
And everybody knows that. So Blair's like, where were you last night? And Serena's like, I have to go. And so she goes because she sees freaking Dan on the street. And turns out they're both taking the jitney back to New York
turns
City.
out she is Sally Carson, a dog in heat. She is a dog in heat right now.
She is H word. This girl is H word, okay?
Like, imagine how Sally Carson's mother feels knowing that, like, every time her name comes up on our podcast, we say, okay, here comes Sally Carson.
And
Serena is a dog in heat.
I just know when Sally Carson's mom listens to our podcast and she hears us say those words about her daughter, her blood freaking boils. Yeah, I'd say so. I have a feeling that Sally Carson's mom is like very proud of her for her blooming reality TV career.
I think you're probably right.
So Blair comes back in, finds Chuck in her seat, pissed off. She also finds Chuck and Marcus exchanging numbers. And we find out that they have a date to play squash together. And Blair's like, squash? I'll squash you. And she's like, you need to leave him the fuck alone. And then she asks Marcus for a ride back in the city. So they're going to go back to New York together.
Deliberately sexual tension they were trying to exhibit, and you just saw Blair and Chuck
brother sister
acting like this. They're giving brother sister
big time,
trying, like, she has a crush on this boy and he wants to be best friends with the boy, and so they're like sabotaging each other all summer in their relationships.
It is giving that. It's also, for a second, I thought you were gonna say it's giving brother and sister, and it's like, okay, we see Blair and she's got a crush on her brother, and she it's giving Life with Derek. Okay,
well,
it's giving Casey and Derek.
It's giving Cruel Intentions.
Yeah,
Sarah
girl.
Michelle Gellar and
sure is.
What was his name?
Is
that Felipe? Ryan Felipe?
Yes, it is.
Wait, is that how you say his last name?
Yes, it is.
Because that's where Reese Witherspoon and him met. Wow,
I didn't know that was where they
set.
met, but yeah.
What a set.
What a powerful energy on that
What a cast
set.
of that movie.
True, I want to rewatch that.
Selma Blair.
Oh, God. So Nate is at his Hamptons house. His mom's at the pool gardening. And he tells her he's headed back to the city. And she's like low-key panicking. She's like, well, when you go back there, you might find something out.
We don't really have a house anymore.
Baby, there's no house. Baby, there's no house.
Literally. He's like, Nate is literally like, hey, I'm going to go back to the house. And she's like, a confessional of Nate's mom. Nate like comes to the pool and he says like, Mom, I'm going to go back to the house. And I'm like, baby, there is no house.
Exactly. And so we find out.
And guys, it's okay. It's okay for us to joke about that because Taylor Armstrong and her daughter have said so.
And they literally gave us permission, explicit permission, personally. So, Nate's mom tells him that like the FBI has basically taken Captain fleeing, him leaving town as an admission of guilt.
Which is fair. I mean, hey, everybody, I just want to say, it's fair.
That happens. I have heard of that happening before. So they've frozen all of their accounts. They have no money and they're taking inventory of everything they own in the house. And she asked her father for help, but then she was cut off. So she's like, don't worry, I'm going to take care of it. Like, it's fine. Nate is like, Mom, I have to handle this. Again, Nate, you are 16 years old.
You don't have to handle it.
You don't have to handle it. I mean, somebody does, but you are a kid and I don't know what you really can do. And when I find out what he does do, I'm like, and this is why it's just like, let the adults handle it.
It's also
not that they did a great job to begin with.
This is so indicative of where Nate gets this though, because even though his mom doesn't put it on him, she does find another 16-year-old boy to put it on.
Yeah. Well,
I know Chuck offers.
We'll get there. But totally.
I need to get some water. Sorry.
Okay. So then Catherine calls Nate. He excuses himself and she leaves him a message. And she's like, look, last night wasn't smart. And if you remember last night, they were at the white party, like canoodling kind of in front of everybody. And it seemed like that was going to be like when the summer ended, their fling was going to end. But she says we have to be more careful moving forward. And they are going to be continuing their rendezvous in the city. So then Marcus calls the Duchess to say bye before he leaves. As we know, the Duchess is Catherine, who is Nate's sugar mama. And the Duchess and Marcus make plans to meet in the city for dinner. And Blair comes to the car with some champagne and they're going to head back to the city. And we get this like epic bus montage scene of Serena and Dan that I'm sure you can actually play in your heads as I describe it to you. So Serena's sitting like a row in front of Dan on the other side of the aisle, and they're both on the end seats, and she's reading a magazine and she like hands it back to him. And as she hands it to him, their hands touch for a moment, and oh my God, the electricity. And oh my God, sparks freaking fly. And they're like, okay, just like read the music reviews and don't give me the H look. Don't give me the H look, which is the horny look, just so you know. If you didn't know what the H look is, that's what it is. And so then she decides to start eating the most massive chocolate-covered strawberries I've ever seen in my 31
Serena,
years on Earth.
When did you pick these up? And also,
When did you
how are they not
procure those?
melted?
Dude, that was my exact question. I'm like, I can't imagine a worse
Wait,
snack for a
I just had an idea.
Okay.
What if this is from Dan's perspective? It's like none of this is actually happening.
She's actually just eating trail mix.
She's actually not even on the jitney.
And suddenly this is a very dark episode.
Wait, Serena's on the Jasper.
What the fuck is a Jasper?
Okay, and this is how I know Caroline doesn't remember a single freaking thing I say on the podcast.
Well, I'm having a memory, but
well, last week I called the jitney the Jasper.
Okay, I couldn't remember if it was like a real word. I was supposed to remember one of your made up shit. So now I know. So now I pretty much got it.
Caroline, this episode looks at me like I am the freaking scum of the earth.
And it's just for this episode. It's just something I'm trying.
Did you say so? Just hang tight?
No, I said it's just something I'm trying. Just for this episode.
I imagined you said, and it's just for this episode, so hang tight.
Well, hey, girl, that too. That too. Because I'm sweating. I'm schwitzing. I'm hot. And not in an HOT way, but in a temperature way.
HOTT.
HOTT way double T.
HAWT.
The second T stands for temperature. And everyone knows that. So so then as she's eating these massive chocolate covered strawberries and somehow she's not getting a single drip anywhere.
Barely fit in her mouth.
And I think that's part of what she's like.
And I think that's probably why this is probably part of Dan's fantasy. She's like, man, those things are big.
She's like
reminds me of something.
Small.
Reminds me of something.
Your balls. Hey, can I cover your balls in chocolate? I feel like it'd be a lot like this. I'm also like, could you be any ruder? Let me tell you, if I was on a jitney or a Jasper or anything, and the person next to me took out a massive tray of chocolate-covered strawberries, didn't offer any to me, and started eating them and sucking on her fingers, I would jump out the window. And then I'd ruin everybody's day, because guess what? The bus would have to pull over and stop. And you're not getting back to the city anytime soon. So that's what I would do. But that's not what Dan does. Dan's like, oh, got a boner. Oh no, my heart on is back on the jitney. I'm all jacked up on the jitney. You think I can jerk it on the jitney?
Yeah, I know you can on the Jasper.
I usually think the Jasper where jerking it is actually encouraged. But I don't know if you can jerk it on the jitney. And I also don't know if I'm allowed to be all jacked up. But I am, and I'm H-word. So. And so then Serena's like, I gotta pee, I gotta freaking pee, I gotta take a leak. And she gets up and starts walking. And she's like, oh, nobody moves a muscle. Jitney isn't jostling one bit. Throws her body, and I'm like, there's someone next to him.
I mean, it's a crowded jitney. What I do want to say to
full flight jitney.
What I want to say to Dan is that there is a row of empty seats in front of him next to Serena.
Well, Phoebe. They're showing restraint, remember? Imagine if he was all horned up right next to her. I mean, they'd be doing hand stuff over the aisle and no one would be able to get to go to the bathroom. That's a horrible idea. So then she's like, you know what, Dan? Now that my ass is on your jacked up crotch, I think we should go to the back of the jitney and jerk it. And that's what they freaking do. Okay, so moving on. They're in the car, Blair and Marcus. They're having a little bit less of like an H-word trip. Something about the jitney just gets the juices flowing. It's called the juicy jitney for a reason. It's not just because of the chocolate-covered strawberries. So Blair's like, so what are your plans? And he's like, I'm having dinner with the Duchess. And she's like, great, I'll be there. And he's like, well,
Blair, let's reel
Blair also like, why do you want to meet them so bad? It's kind of like,
do you think that they're going to meet you and be like, oh my God, this is the missing piece of our family. We've been meeting for generations.
I think she does think that.
She's like, if we had only had a Waldorf in our family tree, we could actually be the Royals.
I think that she actually believes that's what will happen. I think she's always believed that that's her destiny. And so he's like, listen, Catherine, aka the Duchess, aka my stepmommy, and I are having dinner, and you're not really invited. And Blair, manipulative as fuck, is like, well, okay, but I'll kind of be missing my big party.
literally obsessed Nikki.
No, literally it is.
Nikki leaning into the car saying, you could come inside.
Nikki pulling the chair backwards of the other girl.
If only my dad didn't have cancer.
Exactly.
Literally, her leaning in front. When she comes up with that, it is okay. Just quickly touching on this. I am like with the people that are on Twitter that are being like, if you actually found a single second of this movie funny, there is something so deeply fucked up about you.
Well, there was humor in it.
And it's like, no, sorry, the movie it's deeply terrifying, but like horror and comedy are pretty like linked together.
Yeah, I mean they want us to enjoy it a little bit.
Even just the chair scene, like it is like it's funny.
Yeah, that whole scene is funny until she tries to off herself. Like it is like it's funny. It's meant to be funny.
There's certain timing where it's just like that's unmistakably meant to make the audience laugh.
I don't find Bear funny at all. But
well, he could actually even without any of the shit that he did, I don't think Bear could be funny if he tried.
No, he's sweaty all the time.
So even before all this shit happened.
Why do you look so clammy? You look like you have the night sweats, my guy. Do you have a fever?
Like no wonder she's not into you.
Literally, I'm soaking wet just from standing next to you. And not in a hot way. Not in a hot way. Okay, so Blair's like, well, yeah, I just like have this huge party every year, and it's like my favorite event ever. And it's this welcome back to the city party for my friends. And he's like,
Blair,
all right,
I think we
dinner's canceled.
I think we kind of like laid into the lore of the party a little bit too much.
A little bit too much for you to then instruct Dorota not to invite any of your friends. You say it's your favorite party for your friends, and then you don't. Yeah. So
and you throw it every year.
She's like, 911 party.
And so then we go to Chuck and Nate, who are going back to the city. And Chuck is like, I have a freaking hit out on Marcus.
No,
I have a freaking hit out on him. I'm
Chuck's
gonna
like,
get him out of the picture. Keep your friends
close, keep your enemies closer. Ever heard of it, Archibald? He's like, I'm gonna get to know him. I'm gonna get inside his freaking head. And I'm going to get him out the freaking way.
Imagine the conversation started with the squash game coming up and Nate asking if he could come and Chuck being like, no. This is part of my big... You think I like playing squash?
I'm not trying to play... Not going to lie, your whole Nate's good guy act is kind of going to fuck with my scheme.
Nate's like, you never accept my invitation to go play squash. You're playing squash with him?
What? I freaking love squash. I love playing squash. So then Chuck gets a call and he's like, I can't talk, and hangs up, and he's like, don't ask Nate. Don't ask Nathaniel.
Me in third grade, I was pretending to have a boyfriend named Griffin, and
you were obsessed with the name Griffin.
And I got in so much trouble for this. I called the house phone when I was walking home with a bunch of people.
Did you leave a message?
Because I knew that mom and dad weren't home. Because I knew that mom and dad weren't home, so they wouldn't answer the phone, and I could leave a voicemail. And I did, and then guess who listened to her messages?
Guess who heard my private voicemail that I left for my boyfriend Griffin? Mom, I can't believe you invade my privacy like that. Wait, what? I need to hear this voicemail. I know someone has it somewhere.
Imagine I'm like,
there's no way our family let that out of the vault.
Imagine I'm like, Mom, I play up the lie for Mom. I do continue.
You're like, Mom, I got the number wrong, but I do have a boyfriend.
I'm like, okay, Mom, I didn't want you to find out this way, but I do.
I'm dating. Okay.
Sorry. I'm in third grade now. I'm almost double digits.
I'm going to pizza lunch. You better believe I'm dating.
So that's kind of like the vibe of Chuck answering the phone and then immediately hanging up and then saying, don't ask. It's giving me pretending to take a phone call on the walk home and then my friends being like, Phoebe, who was that?
Who were you walking with?
Don't ask. Don't ask.
It's private. It's a matter of romance. And that's kind of private to me and sacred even.
And I know that you guys like wouldn't really understand understand.
I know you guys are single and virgins, so you probably aren't going to get it. And I'm obviously a virgin too, but not in love. Yeah. I've been in love before. You have.
I used to start like skipping up the hill a little bit ahead of them.
You're like, damn, this is actually really hard. Trying to skip as
I'm
fast as you can
winded.
uphill.
You're like, oh. I like get over the hump of the hill.
You're like,
and
wait, I
can't
have to get home. I have a phone date with Griffin.
get over the hump
Are you
of the
guys
hill.
make it home okay if I just go ahead and run? You lean down, press the button on your shoe, take off.
and then they get up to the corner. They haven't been able to see me over the crest of the hill, and they see me doubled over, like trying to catch my breath.
They're like, Phoebe, aren't you going to be late for your phone date? You're like, don't remind me. You do a somersault, keep going.
I trip, skin my knee.
You're like, Griffin will know how to fix this. Griffin always knows how to fix it.
Griffin knows CPR.
Griffin's going to give me a kiss on the knee, and it's going to be a lot better, you guys. You got to get a boyfriend. You got to get one.
You gotta try this, guys.
That is so funny. I never knew that, and I'm so
I can't
happy
believe
to
you
have
didn't
learned
know that.
I've got to ask mom and dad for a transcript. Okay.
I'm shocked mom didn't play it for you, knowing our mother.
Me too.
I'm actually shocked it wasn't played for the family at dinner.
I'm shocked it hasn't been played like multiple times at multiple dinners for multiple years.
Yeah.
That's kind of shit mom and dad love. Oh my God, that's way better than the ceiling story. Okay, so Rufus and Vanessa are about to start their first rendezvous, which is him walking into their old storage space that he asked Vanessa to renovate for him over the summer. I hope you paid her.
He's like, yeah, in a place to stay. She got to stay here and pay the bills.
Yeah, he's like, I mean, friends don't pay friends.
Right. I value her work.
I value her work, and she knows that. And I value our relationship, and she knows that. So Rufus is like, I had this really amazing summer, and I think like I still want to be touring. And then he gets,
I'm just like, it's
she's turning this
inappropriate.
into a cafe.
The way that he confides in her is so inappropriate.
I completely agree with you. I'm like, you don't think this is gonna get right back to Lonely Boy? I'll tell you.
And then to your worst nightmare, Rufus, is good guy Nate.
Yeah, exactly.
Good guy Nate gets a load of this.
Oh, it's
my
lights
goodness.
out. Oh, it's lights out. So speaking of good guy Nate, he walks into his house and he's not alone. There were a bunch of people there, and let me guess. Oh yeah, they're FBI agents. His lawyer's upstairs, and
then he hears someone come down the stairs, thud, like a little kid might, but it's an adult man, and he says in a high-pitched voice, an FBI agent says,
does this guy take cash? On blast.
I really just set Caroline, and that's the captain coming down behind Cash. They're friends.
Mr.
now.
On blast. Guys, SNL has gotten me 2 weeks in a row now. Once with, does this guy take cash? And then they had Aziz on again, but it wasn't as memorable. And then they had Mr. On Blast on Weekend Update, and holy shit. Hilarious.
Guys, in case you wanted to know what Caroline's type is, it's Mr. On Blast.
Mr. On Blast is my whole type. Also, no, the whole episode was really good. Will Ferrell hosted, so like it's going to be great. His mom, did you watch it?
I watched enough of it. I don't think I watched like the whole thing, but I watched the monologue.
Did you? So you saw it? It's so fucking funny. And then his first sketch made me laugh so hard. He's a surgeon. And he's like talking to this guy post surgery and whatever they're talking, and it's the guy's in bed, and then it's his wife, and then Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell's like, okay, so the surgery honestly went great. Like everything went totally fine with the surgery. I do tell you one thing. We did remove your penis accidentally. And the guy's like, what? And he's like, no, I know. But
so funny.
We did. I thought I heard somebody say now remove his penis. So I did. But I think it's okay. Like, I just want to let you know, like, everything with surgery went fine. It's just this other thing happened. And he's going on. And then the like wife starts getting annoyed, and he goes, okay, and can you just like not be such a bitch? And then later he turns back and he's like, now what did I say about being a bitch? I can't even tell. Like, I'm sorry. I sent it in our sister's chat. It's so funny. I'm obviously not doing it justice, but you got to watch it. I mean, Will Ferrell, oh, he's just so funny. And I love when they have a former SNL cast member on. Wait, Will Ferrell was on SNL, right?
Mm-hmm. He's more cowbell.
Okay, I thought so, but then for a second I was like, am I wrong? He just like it's fun because they get it and they so thrive in that environment. And it's like they get back there and they just like snap back to it. And it's just awesome. So anyway. Okay. But when Nate walks back into his house, he is like, this is such an amazing contribution to our theory that Nate doesn't have any idea how old he is. Because he walks in and goes, yeah, and since this is my house, how about I ask the questions? It's like, so these guys have FBI badges, Nate. Like, and you're 16.
In high school.
Shut the fuck up. And so the FBI has moved in here. They're going through everything his family owns. And Nate, like, this is kind of sad because he just like really needs to talk to somebody and nobody's available for him. He calls Catherine and she doesn't answer. And he's just like, who am I going to confide in?
And then speaking of being winded, we go to the squash game where
Squash courts.
Chuck is essentially drenched and the Duke is like
Marcus's ass.
Isn't Marcus like completely dry though? He's like not as sweaty.
I didn't notice if he was.
Chuck is like drenched.
Chuck's wearing a sweatband and his hair is plastered onto his face. And I think it is a stylistic choice. So I just think we might be seeing it more. But
Maybe.
He is beating the hell out of Marcus. So he should be more winded, I guess. Like Marcus is maybe like, you know what? I'll just let you win, little boy. How old are you, Marcus?
I do. I want to know that.
Because like you heard Blair say she's going back for senior year, right? Like, no qualms? Okay, cool. But Marcus tells Chuck, opens up to Chuck, who is famously the most trustworthy guy on the Upper East Side. He's like, I'm just really stressed about the Duchess meeting Blair because no one's ever good enough for her. And like, she always thinks my girlfriend's running.
Marcus gives Ben from Summer House in the sense that he gives, like, he would say about himself that he has a really good intuition for someone's character.
But he's completely dumb as rocks, low-key.
Exactly. So like he's like, I have such a good intuition for character. I know that I can trust Chuck. Like I know he's a good guy. I know he has good intentions, and he's just completely off base.
Literally.
But no one can get through with his thick skull to be like, no, actually, you have a terrible judge of character.
But it's not even like always just like seeing the best in people. It's just like literally like
just being wrong.
No good instincts at all.
Yes.
But Marcus is like, all right, well, I got to go get ready for Blair's party. And Chuck's like, huh? But wait, Blair party, what? And then he's like, by the way, Marcus, can I have your home number? His cell wasn't working.
And me with my elementary school boyfriend, Griffin.
Hey, Griff,
Chuck,
what's your home number again?
As soon
your work
it seems like I can't get a hold of you on
your
work
Gizmo
phone.
watch is not. I'm not getting through to your Gizmo watch. What's your home
when
number?
Marcus says that he's going to Blair's party, Chuck says, as Caroline said,
wait, Blair party, what?
And then he punches a hole in the wall.
And we're like, okay, the squash ball didn't go through this, but your fist did? Okay, Man of Steel. That's what we say. So Blair and Doretta are party planning. Blair's like pretty happy with everything, but she does hate the guest list. And these are her exact words. Blair's like, well, these are your friends. She goes, then invite strangers. She says, I have to present myself as a crown jewel, surrounded by other, smaller, slightly flawed gems, but quality stones nonetheless. And try to round up a few people who can vote so it doesn't feel like a total high school party.
And then they can vote is funny. And then Serena comes over and Blair and her are talking about the party and how Blair is basically viewing this as an opportunity to prove that she's worthy
like,
of Marcus's
this is an audition,
family.
Actually, for my title. And I have to be able to host royal dinners. And I'm just confused as to why you don't get that, S. And she's like, naming all these people that like she should emulate, and one of them I guess is a dictator. I didn't write down the names, but Serena goes, well, if you can't find common ground with a dictator, I don't know who can. It's like, okay, Serena, that was
Sometimes
mean,
she's got some
but
good
it was
lines.
funny. It was funny. And Blair's like, by the way, Dan likes soccer, right? Football, as Marcus calls it. Can he call
that Arya as fuck.
Football. That was so Arya.
The way Arya would do it though is she would have led with football and then said, oh, sorry, soccer.
Sorry, soccer. Do I have to correct myself around you, or do you know that it's football?
You should know that when I say football, it's like it's not football. It's like.
And do you? Okay, I was just making sure. I just
if I'm if I'm talking about like the football, I'm going to say American football.
Like if I'm yeah. If I want to talk about like throwing the pigskin, I will never say pigskin because like the one time you'll ever hear me say it, because that's like, I'm obviously a vegan, but I would probably just say like American football or like the NFL or something like that. Because I'm just so used to saying football now for wait, I actually forgot how it's soccer, right? Okay, I just couldn't remember for a second what it's called in America.
And wait, could you is that CK or
Is that
CC?
CK? Oh my god, don't tell anybody I asked that. Oh my god, Z would flip if you know I
It's
asked that
just
question.
like, sorry, me and Z have really been practicing our Spanish when we go to España. And so
Wait. Did I already talk about how hilarious the line from Spy Kids was?
to me, you did, but I don't think you said it on here.
Guys, we watched Spy Kids the other night, and Alan Cumming as Floop is so fucking funny. And he goes up at some point to Antonio Banderas. I can't remember like his actual name, but it's Mr. Cortez. And he goes, "Does that all make sense to you, Mr. Cortez?"
That's how Senor Coin
I know
spoke.
he said usted, and I was always like, "What the hell?" And like I know that is like
It was also funny because
Barcelona, like it is.
Senor Coin had a lisp on his own.
See? I didn't even realize.
So when he would speak in like Spanish,
You're like, no, is this pronunciation or an
I'm
impediment?
like, yeah.
I can't tell the diff. But it's just, I'm sorry, I never noticed how fucking funny. Does that make sense, Mr. Cortez? It's so fucking funny to me. Anyway, okay, so Serena's like, I guess Dan can come. And she goes, good, you'll call him. Blair's just being so funny. And Serena's like, well, that's great because actually, like, now that you're obsessed with Dan, I've been thinking about the breakup. And she's like, Dan, there's nothing to think about. You're finally free from Downer Dan. Just bring him to my fucking party. So that's that.
So we go to the Vanderwoodsons and Nate is there to see Chuck. But Chuck is like, hey, dude, can you get the fuck out of here?
A middle of a business deal. Something you would know nothing about since you were 18. Yeah, he tells Nate that he's liquidating his shares in Victrola, and Nate thinks that he's doing it for Blair. But that's not why he's doing it. So Nate's like, all right, I gotta go. And then Chuck goes over to the guy and says, I told Mrs. Archibald we could have it done by tonight. It's like, what are you working on? But also, I just need to say, and this is like, I know the bar is literally on the floor, even though what he's doing is like, obviously not bar on the floor, but I'm calling her Mrs. Archibald. I just am like, he's the only fucking kid in this whole block and this whole city that calls parents Mrs. or Mr.
There's something sweet about him.
There's
unfortunately.
something about, and what he's doing is sweet.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
Like, I don't know. Okay. So Dan is still all bricked up. He's calling Serena. He's still dreaming about the bus sexcapades. But they both had realizations, which is great.
And they both had realizations, and they seem to maybe think that they've both had the same one. And then not so fast. Not so fast. It's kind of like the reverse of this morning.
No, exactly. Dan's like, yeah, I thought a little bit about this, and I'm down to play yo-yo. I want space.
The beach sex really did it for Dan, but the bus sex really did it
him
for
way off.
And by the way, guys, it's BUS sex. No, we're just saying it kind of quickly. I just don't want anybody to insinuate that Serena was doing anything else.
I don't know if they had butt sex on the bus when they had bus sex. I don't know if it was butt sex, but it very well could have been. Party girl Serena. Who knows? Too freaky. She might have been. Never mind. That's way too much for me to say. What I was about to say. Not what I just said. What I was about to say. It's way too much. What I just said is fine. So Dan's like, I think we need to take some time alone. And Serena's like, well, Blair's not going to like that. You have to come to the party. And he's like, fine, we'll take space starting tomorrow.
And so then we go.
Nate's scraping the bottom of the barrel. He has nobody to talk to, nobody to lean on. So he goes V.
And Vanessa is thrilled.
Vanessa is really thrilled for someone who like was so ready to throw down with Dan for the summer, and then when that didn't work out for her,
she was like, okay, what about his dad? And now she's like,
yeah,
well,
I'm like, hey,
he might be going back on the road, and he's
you're basically
not gonna want me.
Moved in with the humps. So what is this about?
And so they're talking about his dad.
Nate shows up at the storage at the cafe. Vanessa's
and then he gets a call from his mom, and she's like, guess what? I got it all figured out.
It's handled.
Yeah.
I saw some girl on TikTok doing one of Olivia Pope's monologues. 1, ba 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 2, no 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 no, 3, and 5. And you know the way that she like does her list, and then the way it's just like her delivery is so inventive.
Yeah, true.
And of course, no, I didn't give up your dad's spot. I did not blow up your dad's spot. And I am like, okay, but blow it up. What is actually the point and not? I don't really believe that the captain and Mrs. Archibald actually love each other anymore.
Not at this point. She's pissed at him.
I mean, it's also like she's the one who has the money.
Mm-hmm.
You came into you inherited this awesome financial situation and you flushed it down the fucking toilet, got a drug addiction, and like are now being charged with fraud, and now you're running like a fucking coward. Like, if I'm Mrs. Archibald, I'm like, I'm giving you up unless you come back on your own, because your son needs to see this. Like, you need to set an example for your son that this is not like how we act. This is not the right, like, you need to make this right, or like his whole life is going to be ruined.
Mm-hmm.
Men are a plague. Anyway, she's like, I got a loan from my family friend. It's all fine. And don't worry, it's somebody outside of my regular circle. And she says she didn't ask. This family friend offered and insisted. And Nate, I'm shocked he puts these pieces together, honestly.
Uh-huh.
He's
Me
like,
too,
is it
'cause
somebody
he's
in my
not-
circle?
He's not typically this smart.
No.
But he
He's
is
not
having to use
smart
the
guy,
brain
Nate, that's
power
for sure.
of Cillian Murphy at the end of Oppenheimer looking at the puddle. Like, that's him figuring out.
That's how much brain power it took for him to come up with this. But but nevertheless, he persisted, you know? So he's like, all right, I have to go. I have to go find Chuck. And again, like, sweet boy Nate, because as he leaves, he goes, oh, by the way, this place looks great. And I really missed you this summer. And then he leaves. And it's just like Nate, like, searching for someone to be there for him. And I am glad that Vanessa could be there for him. But like, he just never forgets to like say the thing, you know, like.
But also, it's classic good guy in this way of like, he never forgets to say the thing that the girl isn't going to forget.
Right.
And it's
then
then
he
gonna-
forgets it.
It's going to lead her on a little bit.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right about that. 100%. So Chuck is meeting somebody and walks Catherine, and he didn't expect her to be so young and beautiful. And they sit down and they're like gonna have lunch or something. And then we
And
go to Blair's
then-
party. I would say
And
party is a generous term.
it's giving the vibe of the luncheon where Blair said the thing about the Ostroff Center.
Yes, it is. It's just like total dud vibes. There's like a harpist and a flute person, a flautist playing. It's Jenna Marshall is playing the flute here. We're like, okay, portal's still open.
Imagine.
And she's like, and of course I got a blind woman to play the flute here because I want to make sure everything.
And you should really take a second to hear her story.
It's really amazing. I've already heard it, so I'll let you go by yourself to hear
But
about
also,
it.
don't
find me when
watch
you're
her.
done.
Don't watch her too closely by the snack table. You'll realize that she. I don't really. You didn't hear it from me, but I'm not so sure she's blind.
Yeah, I actually watched as a fly flew into one of her flute holes, whatever those are called. She picked it right out. I mean, I can't do that. I've got 20/20. That's what Blair said. So, party's a total dud, and Blair like runs over to Serena. Serena's like, "Who the fuck are these people? Who did you invite to this fucking party?" Blair's like, "Who cares?" And then Dan arrives in a vest. Dan
Ugly
looks
as
actually,
fuck.
sorry, ridiculous. He's wearing like it's either polka dotted or like floral button down with a black unbuttoned vest. I just
It's
hate
bad.
this look.
He
I
looks
just hate
like
this look.
an off the clock magician.
Oh my God, yes, he does. He's like, all right, I've loosened the tie, I've unbuttoned the vest, and I'm not making any balloon animals anymore. Like, it's that. He
Imagine
does
a magician
shit and
A
balloon
magician
animals.
coming home from work, like taking his tie off, and then just having to offload all the tricks up his sleeve.
He's like,
He's like,
"Oh," he
wait,
just
that would
keeps
be a
shaking
really
his shit,
good
like rabbits
SNL.
fall out.
That would be a really good SNL sketch.
For
if
Will
like
Ferrell.
if someone comes in and he's like lamenting to his wife,
Or
at the end
Sarah
of-
Squirm.
and at first you don't realize that he's a magician. He's like in like a 3-piece suit, and like
He's like,
maybe was
long
holding
day
a
at
hat.
work. He goes to take a drag of a cigarette, bubbles come out. He's like, fuck my life. Wrong one.
He's taking this. He's like, I got you flowers. It's a little like water flowers. He's like,
Yeah.
like all the tricks. And then there's a bird somewhere.
okay, Lauren, call us.
There's a bunny that he's taking out of
There's
his
a
hat.
woman cut in half.
Yes.
For
and
sure.
that's Sarah Squirm.
And
the wife
Sarah
is
Squirm.
Ashley Padilla.
Well, duh.
Is it Padilla?
I don't know how you say it, but yeah, for sure her.
But
Ooh,
yeah.
if I tap on my Pittsburgh Penguins hat, I'll know. Okay, so anyway, Blair's like, Daniel, let's talk about football. And then
He's
Dan
like,
pulls Serena
finally
aside.
someone, he's like, wait, maybe I match your intellectual prowess more. Did you say football?
Did you say football? I love football, and I've been waiting to hear somebody call it what it's fucking called. So
Serena
then
keeps
Chuck shows
talking
up,
about
and Serena's like, get
soccer.
out. Get out. I know you're not on this list. And I'm like, since when are you like defending this party's sanctity, Serena?
She holds up the security man's clipboard, and it's just a picture of Chuck's face with an X over it.
Get out. And so she says, she goes, and this is one of my favorite moments of the whole fucking episode. Blair intercepts Chuck, who has walked in with Catherine, and Serena whispers to Dan, that's Nate's mom friend. And Blair walks up and goes, or she like starts saying hi or whatever. And Chuck's like, oh, I want you to meet Catherine, Blair. She goes, why? So she can warn me about the effects of too much Botox?
That's low-key giving something Whitney would say to Meredith Marks.
Totally it is. She then introduces herself to Blair as the Duchess, and all of the blood drains from Blair's face. And Serena hears it too. Holy shit. Major mic drop mom.
And so then back at the gallery,
I wrote, Vanessa putting flowers around, why is it like they're flirting? So I'm so glad you also picked up on it.
Rufus is like, a little early, babe. I mean, V.
He's like, aren't I supposed to be getting you flowers?
He's like, Vanessa, I picked this up at the guitar store earlier. They told me it's called a Flying V. It's a Flying V guitar for my next tour.
Flying V guitar. And
so I'll think about you in my hands every time I play it.
Rufus is like, I might be going on tour again. By the way, a college tour. I'm like, Rufus, gut
Come
real.
on, man.
Hey, Rufus, gut real. And he's like, V, but what will that do to us? If I go on tour again, what does that mean for us?
I mean, me and my kids. What do you think?
Yeah, what about them? And he's like, and do you think you can manage the cafe? She's like, well, I'm homeschooled, so I'm not really in school. And I'm like, don't give homeschool kids that bad of a rap, Vanessa. This is pre-COVID, everybody. And Rufus is like, well, I haven't talked to the kids. Like, I don't know if I'm going to do the tour, but I didn't realize how much I missed it. I'm not done. And Vanessa says, wow, that is honest. I'm like, it's like not that crazy to be like, I miss it. I miss playing music.
Yeah.
She's like, wow, I would not admit that out loud. That is honest. I'm like, what the fuck, Vanessa?
I know, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So anywho, back at the party, Serena's telling Blair, just like apologize to the Duchess. It's fine. And so Blair goes up to the Duchess and she's like, look, I'm sorry. Your work is flawless.
The Duchess could not care less about Blair, to be honest.
Could not care less. And Blair like just this is one of those moments where I'm like, what was I saying earlier? Sometimes I watch Blair and I'm like, oh my God. And I get like the heebie-jeebies. Like, this is one of those moments because she's like, listen, I'm sure Chuck told you all kinds of things. Sex in a limo, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
It's
And
like,
just
hey,
starts
why don't
listing-
why aren't you listening to her
Yes.
instead of leading with all of these terrible
collect
stories?
the information and then do with that what you will be. But it's clear she's panicking. She's in panic mode. And that's uncommon for Blair. So I'll give her a little bit of a pass, especially because Catherine is a pedophile. But we find out Chuck didn't tell the Duchess a thing. And she says to Blair, listen, nothing will change the fact that despite your best efforts, which are completely transparent, by the way, Marcus is never going to end up with a lowly Waldorf. Whew! At this point, Nate walks up and Serena intercepts because she knows everyone's shit. She knows the connections between everyone. Catherine recognizes Nate. Serena tries to cover. She's like, no, they know each other from a book club. And I'm like, oh, right, because Nate and Catherine would definitely be in the same book club. That makes total sense to me.
Reading like Colleen Hoover books together.
Yes, of course. And then Serena's like, oh, and Blair is dating Marcus, and Marcus is Catherine's stepson, and Nate is also Blair's ex. And so now that we're all acquainted, I'm like, wow, this is just a family affair.
Serena's kind of done what needed to be done, though, so that everybody kind of acts accordingly. She's like covered every base so that everybody can like get in line.
But because everyone here has something to hide. So this like really just like lays it out. Like, here's what you can and can't say.
Yeah.
So
we
Blair and
go.
Serena are talking.
And she's like, Blair, just go show her the real freaking you.
Well, Blair goes, this party's a complete bust. My life is a complete bust. Right.
This is Loki. On any given day, Blair could be Caroline or Kelly, but this is them talking to each other. This is like them just
We switch back and
catastrophizing.
forth, but the one of us every day is saying,
My life is a complete bust. And by the
Serena's
way,
like,
they
"Listen."
say it in the exact tone that Caroline just said it. Like that
It's a
is
complete bust. Like that? Is that how I said it? Sometimes I can't recreate
Yes.
magic right in a row.
that's true.
Okay, you're not supposed to agree. You're supposed to say
Wait, the-
Caroline. Every time you say it, it's magical. What the fuck is wrong with you? It's called being supportive, sis. Hey, twin. It's called showing
Twin?
up. Hey, twin.
Wait,
show up.
we haven't. Wait, later we get a twin moment from Chuck and Serena.
We sure do. So Serena's like, yeah, as Phoebe was saying, Serena's like, well, it's kind of your B because you're trying to be something you're not. Maybe you should just go show Catherine who you really are. And she's like, okay, then maybe I will then. And Serena goes
Wait,
to find
guys,
Dan.
today Caroline texted in our situation group chat that she wanted help determining like Gossip Girl characters in horror movies. And I read the text as, I don't know why, because you
Well,
had
hang
just
on.
some, you
Yeah,
had,
I know. I had just sent my
Yeah.
personal, it's that trend, my top 5 favorite horror movies, but it's like
that's not where my
chewing with your
mind
mouth
went.
open. And I sent my TikTok of that. And then I said, can you help me with the Gossip Girl ones? And Phoebe starts sending back, yeah, Dan is definitely like Silence of the Lambs.
That's not how Caroline texted it though. And we had like a conversation after you sent the TikTok about something else, I think. And then you said Gossip Girl is horror movies. And I just got confused.
Well, that was clear.
But
It's like, keep up.
Blair,
It's like, hey, we move fast around here. Keep up. Okay?
Blair
This is why
is
Griffin and you
Carrie.
broke up. You couldn't keep up. Phoebe, now Phoebe getting actually offended. Hey, Phoebe, Griffin's not real. You can't get offended by that. Because I learned about your fake BF today. And I love knowing it. So Nate confronts Chuck at the party about the money. And we find out that, yes, Chuck sold Victrola so he could lend Nate's family money. And Nate is like so mad at him. And Chuck's like, okay, she called me to see if you were
Yeah.
okay. And I was like, what's wrong? Like, if your mom's calling me, it has to be pretty bad. So, like,
Well,
maybe I
it's
can help.
given-
And
Nate
now I'm
is mad for
helping.
2 reasons. One, I do
Nate's
think
the
that
man
it's
of the
like
house.
that is part of it. Like he's like, I wish I could have fixed it. But also I think boys oftentimes like they don't know what to do with like their appreciative feelings.
Yeah.
So he just is like frustrated with Chuck, but really it's because he's like
I
I
don't
think
see any
overcome.
appreciation, honestly, though.
I think I do.
Okay. Turns out we see things differently.
That's the
Who
first.
would have
That's
thought?
literally never happened
No,
before.
this has never happened. We have a difference of opinion? That's unlike us. Okay, I'm scared. All right, so Dan's leaving and didn't say bye. Hey, Dan, first of all, go say bye to Blair, the host. And
Dan's
second of all, go say bye to your kind of GF.
Dan gives he got back to New York and remembered that he had Jackie Molina's phone number.
Yeah, he's like, I'm ghosting her. I'm ghosting us. I gotta go find Jackie. Like, what are you doing? He's just leaving.
then as
so
soon as he
Serena
realizes
happens
that
to find him getting in the
Jackie-
elevator, making his getaway.
When he realizes that Jackie moves back to Rosewood, he's really gonna regret it. He's
like-
really gonna regret it.
Who, Dan is?
Yeah, that he's freaking thrown S away for Jackie.
Oh, well, totally. Well, and so it's a good thing S stops him. She gets there. She's like, what are you doing? Where are you going? Leaving me at the altar, I see. He's got to go pick Jenny up from the train. And she's like, how about instead we do it? And she pushes him up against the wall and they start making out. And then Nate walks up on them and they're like, oh my
He's
God, you
like,
guys getting back
"Wait."
together? And they're like, this is a friendly kiss. It's giving Amanda and West getting caught.
He's like,
No, this is a kiss as friends.
yeah, just like when
No,
I
this is
kissed
like as
Jesse
friends.
earlier at the party, and I know everybody thought that was weird, but
That was weird, by the way.
yeah,
Why'd she do that?
I watched it like a couple times, like to be like,
To make sure you saw what
Are
you
the-
thought you
are
saw.
they-
Yeah.
and Jesse looked uncomfortable as fuck.
Well, yeah. Because
Weird.
Jesse has his head screwed on straight.
Yeah,
I mean, who knew? Wow, that was a big 180 from the beginning of the summer for him. So Serena and Dan leave in the elevator. Nate's going to go meet Catherine in the library. He goes in there and he's like, this is messed up. Everything's messed up. She asks what's going on and Nate's like, well, I don't know. Like, listen, it would be great if I could be with someone who could actually be there for me. But the best version of this situation is I'm Blair's father-in-law. So let's give up. Like, hey, Nate, no one was talking about wedding bells.
Yeah, that's like unjump a couple guns here.
Yeah, it's like really not at all what I think anyone's thinking is going to happen here. So just chill a little bit. She's like, why don't you just tell me what's going on? And so he does. He tells her everything. He's like, but I'm going to fix it. Like, I'm not going to let any of this happen. And what's crazy to me is, sorry, I'm just kind of going through this part. Catherine brings up like the scandal and how hard it's going to be on his mother. And she does nothing to make Nate feel better. She's like, wow, this is
she's
I don't even
really,
think you get it. This is going to be really bad.
She's positioning herself to be able to swoop in and extort him.
Because, yeah, he did just try to leave. He was like, look, I think we should just call this quits. And she's like, no.
Think about how bad it's going to be and I can fix it.
That she's kind of like, now that I know you dated Blair and I fucking hate Blair and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, so she's like, well, I can help. Like, let's just keep this between us.
So in the family tree, what does this make Betty Cooper and Polly Cooper?
Oh, my God. I was like, I totally forgot that's her.
Yeah. Are they also duchesses or are they lords?
I don't know. I'm not tapped in enough on Riverdale to be able to answer this.
Well, they're Marcus's sisters.
Yeah, but also his stepmom.
Or they're his stepsisters, I guess.
Wait, what names did you just... Oh, you said Betty and Polly?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Her daughters.
Yeah, so what is that title? I guess they would be
Countess?
Ladies. Which,
yes.
like, kind of any woman can be called a lady, so it's like, could we get a better name? Like all these people can, like, pay to be lords, and it's like, why would I pay to be a lady? I am one.
True.
Like, Mom sent me to Cotillion. I'm a lady. I have an etiquette book. I'm a lady. Anyway, so he's like, well, what do I have to do for you? And she's like, spread them. So at this point, Rufus gets home and he's checking his messages. He's got one from little Jay. And
Caroline,
like,
don't you miss when we used to do our summer bulletin boards of every memory we had for a summer?
But it's all from one day because they're all wearing the same outfit and everything. Rufus is walking around this apartment like it's the last episode of Hannah Montana, and she's like leaving the house, the Malibu house, never to see it again.
It's also giving like something really sad happen, and it's like he comes home and everything is like laid out. Like
literally, it's like
Dan and Jenny are never coming home.
Everything is just how it was, and he's gonna leave it like that. It's like it. Not to make it really dark, but it's like sometimes when like a kid dies and like the parents don't change their room at all.
Well, I was gonna compare it to like there's a song about 9/11 where it's like,
wow,
the house stays exactly the same. Okay, you went pretty crazy too.
Yeah, but you brought up 9/11 and no one does that.
And you
no, and Phoebe
and hey,
everybody knows that's where the line is. No one does that. Unbelievable. You guys know that story about that's how Debbie Downer came to be on SNL. Do you know it?
Because she brought up 9/11 all the time?
No, Rachel Dratch was on a plane. And she's on a plane sitting next to someone. And the person next to her is like, so where do you live? And she's like, oh, I live in New York City. And they're like, oh, you there for 9/11? And it's like 2005. So it's like not like it just happened.
Also, I do love the idea
there for 9/11. And she was like,
New York City. I love the idea that New York City is only famous for 9/11.
For 9/11, I know. And she was just like, holy shit. Like, she was like, womp, womp. And then that is what inspired Debbie Downer. She was like, who does that? Oh, you live in New York City? Ever seen any shows on Broadway? Like, think of some other things that we could say instead of, oh, God. Did you hear about 9/11?
It's like, if we were to say that, like, we were from Shanksville, Pennsylvania, it would be like, oh, were you there for the plane crash?
No, exactly.
That makes a little more sense, though, than, like, New York City. It's really the world
ton of shit.
Oyster.
Famously, a lot of shit happens in New York. So, like, there's a lot of things.
Hey, were you there when Alexander Hamilton got there?
Yeah, hello. How about that one?
So he's wandering through and he sees that Jenny's been working on these dresses and he's reading Dan's writing. Hey, you don't know what that is?
That could be his journal. Back off, Roof.
Don't read that.
Don't do
And
that.
then he sees, similarly to just how every family does, the bulletin board of memories
memes.
for the summer of 2008. And then
That's really it. He calls the tour manager person, and we're like, what is he gonna say? What is he gonna say? So then we're back at the party, and Blair asks Dorota where the Duchess is, and she tells her the library. And the song is so good. And Blair walks up to the library, opens the door, and she doesn't see them. And she starts to turn to leave, but she hears, Kevin G. She hears like that. And she comes back and she sees the Duchess with Nate on top of her. And she goes, oh my effing God.
Blair, could we have had a little bit more couth in this moment?
Oh my effing God.
It's giving the dumb Heather of the Heathers.
It is kind of. And I'm like, Blair, this is not you.
It's like,
But
Blair,
she's
you're
in
Heather
shock.
Chandler.
This episode, she's just kind of like on one. She's
like off kilter. Like her, like Mercury's in retrograde for her.
This is the changing of the seasons, Blair. You know, we're headed into fall. It's just she's a little bit off her game. Nate's like, I don't have to fucking explain myself to you. And Blair's like, yeah, no explanation necessary. I think I got it. I think I freaking got it. And so he goes to leave, and he's like, Catherine, and Blair's like, oh, she'll just be one more minute. And I mean, God, did your blood just run cold? Blair picks up one of her kitten heels and goes, here, and gives it to her and goes, and I wrote this all down because it's really good. She eviscerates her. She says, can I just say how sorry I am that I judged you earlier? I thought you were just a callow, social climbing former swimsuit model who married above her station only to be enslaved by her own insecurities. But now that I've seen you rolling around on the floor with my adolescent ex, I understand you have a compassionate side too. And she goes, and I think you'll find it in your heart to take pity on me, that in spite of my common, lowly, unroyal ways, except that I have true feelings for Marcus and that he has them for me too. I think that would be the best thing for both of us, don't you think? Oh, her saying only to be enslaved by her own insecurities.
Woof.
But now that I've seen you rolling around on the floor with my adolescent ex, I mean, she hit every note. Okay, and she's back. Okay, Blair, we said you were off kilter. We were fucking
Imagine
wrong.
where we don't really see her hair for this whole scene, and then as soon as we do like a pan out of the two of them, we see both of them together in the same frame, and Blair's hair is just completely back to a regular color.
You mean it's no longer purple?
No, it's no longer like her like light shade.
The blonde.
Because like you said, like it's like changing of the seasons Blair.
Okay,
and then as soon as she finishes this monologue, we're back to
she's
solid
back to
brunette.
Dark little chestnut brown. So then Marcus walks in, three's a party. And he's like, oh, I heard Catherine was in here. I needed to do damage control. And Catherine looks at him and says, Blair is a treat. And he goes, you never like my girlfriends. And Blair goes, did you say girlfriend? Mm-hmm. And then they leave Catherine in the library and everyone's fucking happy.
One kitten shrew
To
gone.
the wind. Yes. So Dan and Jenny come home. They're so freaking geeked to see Rufy. And Rufy's freaking geeked too because guess what he made for dinner? Gnocchi with pesto and a caprese salad.
Zucchini and asparagus.
No.
Yes.
He does not say those words.
No, he doesn't say it, but that's what's there on the counter. And then what they're passing at the table is asparagus. And there's a dish of cucumbers. Not cucumbers, zucchini. I know, I hate that.
Okay.
And you know I do, and you hate it too, actually.
I was saying it to be hilarious. And you acted like you didn't hear me. You acted like I wasn't speaking English.
Well, sorry, I'm used to polysyllabic words.
Oh my God, I forgot that. Okay. Wait, no, you're not. That's why I said mash. Phoebe, don't try to trick me.
Not these days, just ask mom.
Oh my God, I won't. I won't ask her that because I don't want to hear about, oh my God, and Phoebe used this word and it was amazing. I'm gonna be like, I know words too. I was an English major. God. Okay, so
and guys, when English majors graduate, they have to actually, from memory, make their own dictionary.
And the thesaurus. But don't ask me to do it again. It's kind of a one-time thing. It takes a long time and you don't have the time. I can do it fast, but you ain't got the time. And I know that. So we find out that Dan's short story is now going to be a novel. He's just so freaking inspired. He has his muse back. And Rufus tells him that tour was fun. but there's no place like home. Oh, I guess he's not going
And
back on college
Dan has to be a
tour.
fucking asshole. He has to say, "Wow, Dad, really original. If you ever write a freaking memoir, you better get a ghostwriter, and it should probably be me."
And how about me? And I know just the guy, but I'm not cheap. Start saving now. And he goes, "Face it, Dad, you're getting old." And Rufus like seems kind of happy. He's like, "I am, and I've earned every one of these laugh lines." That's like the vibe Rufus is giving. So Blair and Serena are having a sleepover at Serena's after the party.
This is our twin moment because Serena they walk in and Blair's like, "Can I have a minute with..."
Well, they walk in and they see Chuck.
Yes.
And Chuck has a glass of orange juice in his hand. And then Blair
and Serena goes, "Yeah, you can have a minute." And just a second, twin.
Thanks, twin.
Give me that, OJ.
Thanks, twin. Slurp, slurp. Thanks, twin. Gotta get my vitamin C.
and Chuck
Imagine if he shuts the fridge and in his other hand he has another glass of orange juice because he knew he was actually pouring it for her because he knew that she'd want her nightly.
Chuck, my favorite thing is like she takes it and Chuck is like,
Chuck's like, my hand has to be clasped on something. He grabs Blair. Anyway, so Blair and Chuck are talking and Chuck's like, "Did you enjoy meeting the Duchess?" She says she did. And he goes, "That's no sarcasm in your voice. She says, "Victory. I know your plan against me totally freaking backfired. Marcus's mommy is even sicker than you are." And she goes, "I think she recognized some of herself in me, or I recognized someone in her." Chuck's lost.
She's so good.
Chuck's like, "Wait,
Chuck's
what?
like, "Wait, what?
Wait, what?" And she goes, "All you need to know is you lost." And he goes, "Tomorrow."
That's Caroline. That's Caroline when like she decides there's a secret hidden rule in a board game that means that she's won. And
Maybe I win fair and square and stop trying to change that narrative. When have I not?
This is what I'm talking about.
When have I not won fair and square? Tell me.
None of your beeswax.
No, tell me. Cite your sources, bitch. When? Oh, you can't think of any.
I'm just saying
you're like every board game we've ever played, you have won, and god damn it was fair.
It gives you and Anthony to be like, all you actually need to know is that you lost.
No, here's the difference between me and Anthony. I'm saying all you need to know is that you lost. Anthony's like, you need to know that you lost. I'm going to explain to you exactly how you lost. That's it. That's the difference between us. Like, he's like, I could be succinct, I choose to be eloquent.
Right.
You know,
and you're like, I just choose victory.
I'm like, in this one moment, I'm being succinct because I don't want to put salt in the freaking wound.
And so then we unfortunately,
like, in New York, I love you, but you're letting me down. God, that song.
And Nate gets into a freaking limousine, or he's in a limousine.
First, Vanessa gets a call from Nate, and we just see Vanessa's face, and he's like, sorry, because he had told her, when he left earlier, he told her he was going to come back tonight. And he calls Vanessa, he's like, I don't think I'm going to make it back. And she's like, yeah, I kind of figure. And he's like, but I'm going to call you later. I'm so sorry, whatever. Hangs up. Zoom out on Vanessa.
Vanessa pulls a freaking Aria in Z's apartment when she finds out.
What did you think was going to happen? Aria was like, I have the perfect idea for your man.
She's knocking over tables. She's pushing things over. She's throwing out all this perfectly good Chinese food. She's furious. She's writing pig all over the walls in red lipstick. And then Rufus thinks it's about him.
She's writing slam pig. You're slam pig. New favorite term from Rhode Island.
A completely different vocabulary up there.
Straight from Rhode Island. Yep. You're slam pig. Alexa, why is there a beetle in here? Alexa, why is there a beetle in here? Love her.
One day there will be AI good enough for her that will be able to tell her why there's a beetle in there.
I mean, can we make that a priority, by the way? Hello, yeah, can we make it a priority to get Alicia Carmody some good fucking AI in this joint? The AI and RI is just not cutting it for Alicia. Okay? I already said it. All right, so anyway,
imagine
she's
the first person to be able to get Alexa to be flustered. Alexa's like actively Alexa's like, wait, I have
no idea what did you just say? She can't understand her. And she's like, well, I can't understand her either. She's talking different. She talks like a robot, and I don't understand robot. I know how to speak Rhode Island and doll. Wait, I love the one scene where they're like, I swear I heard voices. She goes, do you think it was the dolls? She's dead serious. It's like, I heard someone talking. Do you think it was the dolls?
I can't believe she's real. And she is like, I do love when we get housewives that are like, obviously they were like pretty girls all throughout their life,
Yeah.
but they are also
to be weird.
And they are just weird. Like they're
just
weird
to their
people.
core weird, but they have experienced pretty privilege, which has got them to this place, which you're like, I'm happy for them. I love a weird pretty girl.
Me too.
And there's a reason we love weird pretty girls. We have lots of friends that are weird. Every friendship needs one just hot girl, which is me and Phoebe, and one weird pretty girl, which is our friends Mimi and Kelly.
Story of our freaking life. Forever.
So then we see that Nate is, yes, as Phoebe said, in a limo with none other than Dutchie.
And she leans over to Nate and she goes, Nate, it's just that
Dutchie.
when you introduced me to the driver, you said Catherine. And it's just, I'm a duchess.
It comes full circle. Look at that.
Girl, I need you to just Google that scene. It will come up easily for you. You just need to watch it.
So Nate, he's picking up Catherine. She gets in the car, hands him a fat envelope full of cash.
It's actually not as fat as I think it should be for the circumstances.
I agree. I'm like, I hope it's a check in there.
Yeah.
I hope that's a check, girl.
A check and like a pair of underwear.
The work that she's like, it's like in Pretty Little Liars when Hannah finds the different dollar bills everywhere. She's like, and when you take off my panties, you'll find $100 more. And when you unclasp my bra, you'll find a $2 bill. You can sell it on eBay. It's rare. Anyway, and so then she puts her hand on his leg and it's like, okay, Nate is whoring himself out for cash. I feel great about this.
And he looks out the window. I'm like, why is the window rolled down?
It's raining.
Also,
I love you, but it's raining.
Gossip Girl is like on the hunt. Like, roll that window up.
Actually, it's so true. You don't need anybody to be finding. Okay, cry for help vibes. Okay, subconscious cry for help vibes.
She's like, why did we meet in Brooklyn in front of this weird museum?
Well, she's like, why are we in Brooklyn and there's a man outside of the house with a phone taking all these photos of us? And Nate's like, that's Gossip Girl.
No, I was saying like he's in front of the museum where Vanessa made the cafe.
Right. It could be either. Those could be the same place. For all we know. Anyway, that's the episode. Do you want to read synopsis for next week?
Let me find it.
New York, I love you, but you're bringing me down.
You got to listen to that song more. You're not getting it right.
New York, I love you, but you're bringing me down. What am I missing? What is not right about
There's
that?
one more note and down.
New York, I love you, but you're bringing me down. What's the other note?
Just listen to it later.
Just do it.
No, I've done it
You
once.
don't know it.
Yes, I do, but you know I don't like to sing.
Do it. Just tell me the other fucking note is, coward. You're being so annoying. I'm actually pissed off. Now we're going to fight at the end of the pod.
Perfect. Just what I wanted. I completely goaded her into this.
I knew you were picking a fucking fight. I knew it.
Okay, the next episode is called The Dark Knight, and it's season 2, episode 3.
Okay, I love that movie. Okay, first movie we're watching in the Gossip Girl movie club is The Dark Knight, starring Heath Ledger.
Okay, so fuck the roommate, I guess.
Yep.
So Serena and Dan are forced to deal with their problems when a citywide blackout traps them in an elevator. Okay, it's giving the episode of Glee when Sue Sylvester traps Klaine in a fake elevator so that she can get them back together. It's giving the episode of
Glee. It's giving the episode of Pretty Little Liars where Jason De Laurentiis gets chopped in half in an elevator and they never talk about it again.
and he's perfectly hot the entire rest of the show as if nothing ever happened to him. Blair questions the lack of passion in her relationship with Marcus. Nate struggles with his feelings for Vanessa and Catherine. It's giving Ben struggles with his feelings for Sabrina Bell or Amanda Batula.
I'm like, I can't hear about like how hard it is for you to say I love you.
It's either the married cougar or Sabrina Bell.
But you're bringing me down. New York, I love you, but you're bringing me down. There you go.
Nailed it. All
right, guys. So that's the episode. Thank you so so much for listening. We did release a podcast on Tuesday, so if you haven't listened, you should probably do that. And of course, as always, if you want video episodes and ad-free episodes of anything that's on streaming, you can head to the Patreon and join the honorary Connell Sisters tier and get your freaking fill. Get your freaking fill of the Connell girls. We love you so much. Thank you for listening. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts if you really love us, and comment on Spotify. Let us know what you thought of the episode, and we will see you next week.
And of course I did it. Of course I killed him.
By the way, the crash is crazy.